Hey, good morning, everyone. How are you on this wonderful mid-January? So far, so good. We don't have any snow. Not much to brag about. We had a little dusting that about a week ago or so. I had to take care of the neighbors, so it wasn't too bad. Anyways, this isn't about snow at all. This video, as you can tell by the title, it's pros and cons on owning your mobile home, part 2. Had a lot of requests on this particular video. This video, owning your own, pros and cons on owning your own mobile home, part 1. If you go back and look at it, I hope all you guys would do that to check it out, because that thing, to me, went ballistic. I mean, I was really amazed at how many views that got. And I was very happy to see that a lot of people took interest in that. And the comments are just unbelievable. You know, I get many comments on that particular video on a daily basis, and there for a while it was hard to keep up with it. You know, I was answering comments for hours, reading them. There's a lot to read on those, because a lot of the people tell their experiences in different states, and I like to set everyone straight on me. The reason I did that mobile home in the first place was I felt that I was forced to relocate, and I didn't want to relocate, because this home here means the world to me, because this is what was bought with my father's and my mother's inheritance money. It is the first house I ever was able to have in my possession that's bought and paid for, mortgage free. And that's the reason I shot that video, because I felt I was being forced out of my home and then trying to relocate. And you know what happens after that. And you can see by my latest videos on, you know, putting little speeches in there that you can understand what I'm going through. I'm not going to mention anything right now until things are settled down. But I think you can read between the lines that, you know, this I'm by myself, okay? That pretty much explains it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the interior of the home, the pros and cons on the interior, because I got a lot of requests on the last video I did, which was done it was done like 9 months ago or something like that, 10 months ago. So you got to go in the uploads and scroll through them, and then find the one that says pros and cons on owning your own motorhome, and then listen to what I got to say. And if you listen all the way to the end, you'll understand that that's my point of view. It doesn't fit everybody. You know, everybody doesn't have to follow what happened to me or what I'm trying to explain. You know, I live in the southern part of Wisconsin, central. And the central part of Wisconsin, of course, has an area that I've lived in it for, you know, all my life. And I worked, and I had a great job here. I worked for this municipality, and it was right around 30 years. So this was my livelihood area that I was stuck living in. You know, if I had my choice, I'd live out in the mountains out west. That's where I really wanted to live. But then, of course, you'd have to give up your family, you know, when you do that. And that was a big burden, too. So just to move from here 20 miles down the road and then refinance the mobile home would be insane. It'd just be totally insane. You'd be back in debt. You'd have to pay a mortgage again on the remainder. They don't give you time on the loan like they would a regular home. You know, the mobile homes in my area anyway is basically when you like buying a car. You know, you get 6 years to pay for it, and if you get lucky, you can get a home through the mobile home park and finance it for, you know, 20 some years, I imagine. But the thing is that you got to qualify, and a lot of people, it's hard to qualify. You have to have assets to back it up. And then the interest rate is just insane. I mean, you're not going to get a 6% loan from the actual mobile home park if you buy it through them. You know, you're looking at probably 22% interest. You know, I could be wrong on that because I never had to go through it, but things could have changed, you know, too, in the last 10 years. I don't know. But, you know, my opinion is that mobile homes in my area, still, I'm going to stick to my thing that I said in an earlier video, is that they just don't hold the value that you would think they would. You know, you're going to lose money on it. And then again, we get back to that rented land. You know, I'm not going to repeat it, okay? Because I'll get criticized for it. You know, a guy just wants to hear himself talk. You know, I've had that in a couple of comments. So let's just take a walk through here, and I'll show you what we got going. And I'll try to keep it short. I'm sorry I'm ramping on. You know, you guys all that are making comments out there to me live in a different environment. You live in different states. Everything's different. Maybe your mobile homes they generate value. I don't know. But I know that right here where I live, they depreciate big time. That's all I can say. And if you don't believe me, you know, check it out. You know, do some research on the central, southern part of Wisconsin. I'm real close to Illinois. I'm 20 miles away from Illinois. So, yeah, check that out. So right now we're going to take a walk around, and I'm going to show you the defects, what I think they can improve on these mobile homes, which they did already, because this mobile home was about 12 years old, maybe even older than that. Actually, I'm way off. It's 18 years old. And the reason I know is because when they checked our air conditioner outside, the date was on it. And that's the original air conditioner. We replaced all that. So, yeah, it was, at that, and it's already been installed about a year already. So, it's probably 19 years old now. So you're looking at a 19-year-old mobile home. So don't expect a lot. You know, it's still beautiful, still livable. And I do my best. I got a lot of repairs I got to do in here. We're going to put a brand new rug in here if I can keep the mobile home. And we're going to put new windows in, a couple, not all of them. And I'm going to replace some of the trim that's in here. Going to paint the whole place because the wallpaper is just garbage. You know, so I'm going to show you all that stuff. So let's get on with it. Okay, that's one thing first we don't want to see. Renewal license plates. Yeah, that's one there that I got sitting here, and it's a car that I can't even drive. I'm not allowed to drive it. So it's sitting here, and well, let's get on with our journey here. Okay, you're going to have some problems with maybe focusing, possibly. I'm not sure. I'm going to stop this camera real quick here for one reason. Okay, as you know, this is the entrance to my computer room, which we're not going to go look at that because that's a terrible mess in there. And I'm just going to take you around and show you some of the stuff that we got going on here for the interior, so you understand. So basically what we're looking at here is the kitchen area. So you can see the cupboard area you got the refrigerator, you got a pantry right alongside of it. You got cover space down below. I had to purchase a new dishwasher and a new oven stove because the element went out on the bottom. Well, 18 years it lasted, so I guess I didn't do too bad. So this is pretty much what you got for covered space, you know, from the window and then across here. And there's some of my instructions on how to make stuff. And then down here, you got plenty of cover space down there. Goes up to the stove there. So the thing that I'm really a little bit concerned about is this skylight area up here. I don't know if I can get a good view of that or not. As you can see, there's stains and marks coming on the side of that skylight. And that's what we fixed about a year ago. Well, not quite a year ago. And we've got the leak fixed. We got to stop. But who knows what's going on with the insulation. So we may have to rip this out and get in there and see what's going on with the insulation. So the other thing I had to do since I moved in here was I had to replace that sink right there. The other sink was, I don't know, like a not a plastic, but it was just disgusting. It was not very well made. So I put a stainless steel one in, and then I had a hard time getting it. So I was able to get that put in. I put that in myself. I had to cut a 1/2 inch off the back to put it in. So all right, this is the kitchen, and as you can see, the skylights was the big problem. Now as we get into the living room area, which is a decent sized living room area, it's not bad. It's still small. It's a little bit crowded in here with furniture right now because everyone knew that I didn't have anything for furniture, and they decided to go crazy on sending furniture over. So I ended up with more recliners than I need. And one of the things that I want to say is that the rug that's in here needs to be replaced badly. I got to get that fixed. So I do have one plant that the neighbor gave me. She thought it would bring me some good luck, and so far it's doing pretty good. The other thing is that I got to do is I got to get a set of drapes for here because the drapes got ruined. And the other thing I want to show you here is that these doors, I don't know if you can see them, but they got a thin layer of, so you can tap that and it goes in and out. And it's a thin layer of paper, make it look like wood. And that's a con. That's a con. That's not real oak or real wood. Now when you get over here, to these French doors, these are definitely 100% wood. I can't prove it on camera, but there's no paper over those. So all these doors that are like closets and pantries, this is a pantry here, we've got that paper type vinyl over it that with humidity and heat, for heating the home, it'll bubble on you. So if you order a mobile home brand new, make sure you don't have any of that style type of doors. Alright, so we're going to go through the hallway now, and it's not very long or nothing like that. Then this is the door to go out to the garage. I'm not going outside because you've seen a lot of that on the other mobile home pros and cons. Now we're getting into the very small secondary bedroom, and as you can see, it's all fixed up for someone that wants to stay. Got a TV there and got the bed, and you can only fit a single bed in here. That's how small this room is. There's not much in here. I got a closet door. They do give you a small little closet. And there again, that's one of them doors that will bubble, I believe. No, actually, this door here is actually wood. There's no paper on this door. So that door's a good one. That did not bubble. But now the entry door, you can see right there. Look at how that stuff is just buckling. It's starting. See, now I'm going to have to peel it all off. Somehow get behind here, peel it all off, and then paint it. Or replace the door. One of the two. So, okay, now we're going to get into the bathroom area. And it's not too bad. It's big enough. You got a vanity there. Yeah. Nobody wants to see a bathroom, but you got room to put your medicines and stuff like that. Now up here we have a skylight also, and that one there also leaked. Yeah, I don't think you can see it on camera, but that one also leaked. We had problems with that one. So all three of them leaked. So, alright, that's the bathroom. And now we're going to get into the master bedroom. Okay, this home was basically made for a husband-wife team with no kids, because this is a gigantic bedroom. This is very big. And as you can see, it's the bed there, king size. The only thing is a king size bed. We could not make fit in this room, so it's still pretty small. The reason it couldn't fit in here is because you can see we got a his and hers closet. So that's my closet there, and then that would have been her closet there. And then we used to have the bed set up over on this wall against that window. But as you can see down there's a vent that would have been blocked with the bed. That's why we moved it over to the other side. So this room here is pretty decent size, not bad. Like I said, we even have a widescreen TV in here, so you can watch TV, while you're laying in bed, I guess. And I put in a vent up there so that we could get airflow to the addition behind the garage. And all that did was let in cigarette smoke. And I couldn't stand it, so I just taped it off. I could have done a lot better job. Sorry, folks, but I'm not a precision person. I'm not the perfect person to have everything 100%. So, okay, and then over here, I'm going to show you this area where our washer and dryer is. Now here's the problem. This is a con, I think. We had to buy 2 new washers and dryers, and today when you buy a washer and dryer, they end up being, you're not going to buy the kind that they give you with the mobile home. It's going to be these gigantic machines. And what happened was that we had trouble with the doors. There's a door that goes on a hinge up here. You can see the sliding hinge, very chintzy, and it didn't take long, and that fell apart. You couldn't keep the door on, so we took that and just got rid of it. Sorry about the camera drop there, something happened. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, so we just keep it wide open. It's no big deal. And they work real well. They're getting pretty old already. One of them, some of the functions already don't work on it, so you get what you pay for. So I don't know what's going to happen there on that one. But that's the washer and dryer. And then we'll go into this room here. This is the master bathroom, and it's got it's got French doors. Okay, now this room looks like I use it a lot, but I really don't. I use the other bathroom because the simple fact is that this room here is the coldest room in the house. If I keep these doors closed, I get a better heat in where I'm sleeping. If I keep the door open, then I'm chilly all night. And I think it's got a lot to do with these cabinets down here. If I put my hand down there, there's a vent. That's where the hot air comes out. But when I put my hand down there where the vents is not running, I can feel a lot of draft coming in. So this whole back wall is the back of the mobile home. I'll bet there's not hardly any insulation in that wall. So this is stuff that happens after you buy. You don't know what you're getting into. So when you buy a mobile home today, you're better off to buy a brand new one than to buy a used one you don't know nothing about. So now we're going to get up into the skylight on this one. And I don't think you can see because the light is ruining everything here. There's a good view right there. So you can tell the water ran right down in there. I guarantee you that the insulation is shot. There's going to be mold and everything else in there. And it goes all the way over there in that corner over there too. So there's going to be a lot of work being done in here. And then up here, you can see how it's separated from the top of the ceiling, popped off. That's all due to dryness. You know, in the summertime you run an air conditioner all the time. You can't run with the windows open because with the windows open, you still get, it's so hot in this room that you, or hot in this mobile home that you can't stand it. So you have to have the air conditioner on all the time. And I would recommend highly to get, in the summertime, get a dehumidifier. And then, or no, get a humidifier for the summer and then get a dehumidifier for the winter. No, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. You want a humidifier that puts out moisture for the winter. And then in the summertime, you want to take the moisture out. So that'd be a dehumidifier for the summertime. I got that all screwed up, so I'm sorry about that. Sometimes I can't get everything straight. So, anyways, that's it. That's all I got. So, oh, one thing I'm going to show you too. Take a walk over here quick. Something that I got to thank my brother-in-law for is that ceiling fan. That ceiling fan, he gave it to me for a favor. He gave it to me and my wife for a favor because I did him a favor, and he thought it was something he had to do, so he bought us a fan and he came over and installed it. It was really nice of him to do that, so I really appreciate you doing that, Robert. So that's pretty much it. These are the typical lights here you get. Just a globe. They don't give you nothing fancy. You know, same with in the bathrooms. You know, it's just, they're not the greatest in the world. You know, you can probably order stuff when you order the mobile home. You know, better quality stuff, but then your price goes up as you go. So what they do is they pretty much give you a model to look at, and then you got to determine if that's what you want or not. So, sorry folks, this is not it. I got to show you something else that's real important you guys need to know. First of all, that tells you anything, I don't know. Rock salt for the water softener, right? I'm going to show you here. That's what we got for water softener. That was brand new when we moved in. It does a wonderful job. Does okay. $1,000. All right, water heater in the corner here. Okay, that's a special water heater made for mobile homes. All this piping you see here is all special piping. You can't do it yourself. You gotta have a crimp tool. Okay, down here below, I've got a hose connected to the water heater on the bottom. That hose can go over, wrap around, and come over to the shower stall. That's right there. You know, I just slide it underneath the shower stall, and then I drain the water heater. Okay, now up here, this filter right here I had to put in special. The water in the park is so bad you would not want to drink it. So I have a filter up installed And this takes all the chlorine out, takes all the settlement, and the filter in that thing is, I believe, $12 and some odd cents. Got to replace it every 15 days. And it is terrible when you take it out. So that's one thing that's not going to happen in everybody's park. It's just where I live, okay? Got bad water here. Bad water here. I should say not heater. Probably sounds like I said heater. That's one thing that's a con that I don't like too much. And yeah, just it's there's some stuff that is not good, but there's a lot of good stuff about it too. And I'm going to explain that. I'm going to sit down here and talk a little more. Okay, that's pretty much it. What I got to show you for the interior. I didn't really care to do this, because basically it's nobody's business what my inside of the house looks like. But everybody wanted to know what they had for space, and they said it'd be nice if we'd show the interior if he's wanting to sell it. Well, guys, I don't want to sell it. I'm no means want to sell it because I got a real nice setup here, and yeah, I pay a little over $500 for rent fees. But for my age, that's what I told in the video. It's not for everybody. It's for the elderly people. And I jumped on the bandwagon early because I knew that's the direction I was going to have to head, because I would not have enough money being I was getting so close to retirement. Didn't have any money put away, and I had a certain amount of inheritance I got from my mom and dad when they passed, and it was just enough to have a nest egg put away for extra money that you would need along the way, and also the mobile home was bought and paid for. But there's a lot of maintenance that comes up, like replacing this and that. I talked about the stove, had to replace that, dishwasher, sink, interior stuff you got to replace when you get an 18-year-old mobile home. And who knows, maybe this is even, it's 18 years roughly, 19 now, because that year went by already since we put the furnace in. So yeah, it's a lot of the people that commented on the first video, there's some critics out there that said that never ever buy a mobile home and then pay lot fee. Don't do that. You got to be insane to do that, because the people that own the land are vultures and they just keep raising your lot fee. Well, they do, but I'm going to tell you something. The only reason lot fees have to go up is because the taxes go up. Property taxes go up. So when you take a big area like we got here in our park, where we got 120 some mobile homes in here, and the taxes are all divided up amongst all of us, so we all get treated pretty much the same. Now in my case, if you got a big garage and attachment on the back, you get assessed a little bit more. Not a lot, but a little bit more than everybody else. Now I don't have anybody behind me. I got a wide open field. They get to watch the deer, the wildlife, everything else, and the crops being harvested. I shot quite a few videos of that. Very interesting. You don't have to go out and pry around on somebody's property just to get somebody combining. I can do it right in my backyard. So that's pretty cool there. So yeah, I love it here. I really do. This is a great place to live. The neighbors are beautiful people. They're all getting up in age. We lost a couple that died, but I can't say nothing but good about this where I live here, for me. Now, for the younger generation, I highly recommend stay away from it, because you got the opportunity to buy a real home, a stick built, own your own property, have plenty of room. That was not what I needed to do. And myself, for 12 years, I've learned to live very close to people. For one thing, I used to do flea markets, and I do flea markets 4 days a week, and I worked my regular job. Well, I had a lot of time off because I accumulated a lot of vacation time. So I took the whole summer, and I'd always use like Thursdays and Fridays would be my days off, and I had no problem getting them off. So I would take and leave Thursday or Wednesday night and get to the flea market area, set up my rig, and I would get all situated, and I'd be right next to my neighbors. They were 5 feet away, and we'd sit there and we'd have a party. We drink our beer, have our suppers and stuff, cook our own meals on our grills, and we'd sell during the day and had a blast. So to me, this park feels like you're living in a flea market to me. Now that might sound like trash to some of you guys, but it's really not, because them are the loving people, them are your friends, them are the people that you can socialize with. You can have a good time with them. You can have cookouts, and you can have birthday parties and get-togethers with your neighbors. That's the nice thing about being close. Now, some of you may not like that. Some of you might want to be way out in the sticks. Well, let me tell you something else. One of the things that happens when you're in a community like I'm in, you're going to find that your utility bills, I shouldn't be covering my mic every time I do that, it screws up the sound. When you live in a community like I live in, the utility bills are way lower than if you lived way out in the sticks, because they're not shooting electricity way out for one or two people. You got 120, 130 trailers in your mobile homes, and they're all being fed by the same electricity. So your rates are going to be very reasonable. I've had bills for electric in this mobile home under $100 a month. Right now we're at 2020, and it's really hard to be under 100. Either way, like your electric or your gas. In the wintertime it's gas, and in the summertime it's going to be electric, because you got your air conditioner running all the time. So you got to keep that in mind. But as far as, like I said before, if you open up the windows and try to get by all summer without air conditioning, you're going to ruin the whole mobile home, and that's pretty much what happened. Because what happens is you live with a lot of humidity during the summertime, and it just tears all your trim work apart, tears your doors apart and everything. And then you put the air on because you can't stand it, and then that gets the air the way it's supposed to be. And then you have the bubbling that you've seen on some of the doors. So I got about 4 doors I got to replace or do something with. And I didn't even show you the one in the bathroom. The one in the bathroom, the main bathroom that I use, the door in there is all stripped. The paper stripped right off it. So I know what that stuff is. It's just nothing but a paper that they stick on at the factory. So very inexpensive, and it's going to be a problem. So if you do buy a brand new mobile home, make sure you're getting pure wood doors all the way through. Because these doors, I checked them out, and they're made out of actual, I'm going to say probably recycled plastic. Because it's like porch material, like some of the porches you see today, they're made out of this type of a material, like a plastic, and it's really good. I mean, it's nice stuff for decks and stuff. Because my brother has it, and he doesn't have any problem with warpage or anything from the sun. So it's worked out real good. His railings look really nice. All the studs that go down, along the railing. He's got a really big porch, and I was a little bit worried about that he was going to have some problems with heat, buckling some of that stuff. But it held up really good. So yeah, these doors in this mobile home are made out of that same material. I don't know if it's recyclable or what it is, but it's definitely plastic. It's not wood. And then another thing that happens is the doorknobs. If you want to change the doorknob out, you can't do it. You got to actually, if you go to the Ace Hardware and buy a typical doorknob, it's not going to fit. There's special doorknobs made for mobile homes. So you got to buy it through the trailer company or the mobile home company. So yeah, there's a lot of disadvantages and there's a lot of pros. There's probably more disadvantages than there is pros. But I chose this. This is my living, and I love it. And you can call me crazy if you want. I don't care. Some of you guys did. I didn't delete you for your comments. I like negativity just as well as I like positive. And on that video that's doing well over 70-some thousand views on the pros and cons of mobile homes, I really appreciate all you guys for supporting me on that particular video. A lot of you probably are not even subscribers. You just wanted to see the video. And I appreciate your comments. There's been so many comments. It was unreal. And I'm still not done reading them all. I mean, I missed a lot of them. But in my spare time, I go back as far as when I posted that, And I'm just about done. And I responded to just about every one of them, but I'm still getting them. So really like the idea that you guys are commenting on the videos, and I hope this video can answer some of your questions a little better. I just wanted to clear up some air a little bit, because some people think that I'm talking out of my hat, but I'm not, because this is the area I live in. And I don't know if I talked about it, but see, we live in an agricultural area. If you notice, Wisconsin is an ag state. So I live in that southern part of Wisconsin where you're not going to find a 5-acre lot somewhere out in the country where you're going to see a mobile home sitting. They don't like that. The community in this agricultural land don't want that. They want to have the mobile homes in a park area, where it's, exclusive for mobile homes. And now when you get further north, it's different. When you get up to the sand country, you can buy 6 acres up there for a lot more reasonable than you can down here. And then you just buy a mobile home, put it on there, buy a double wide if you want, put some buildings around it, and have a blast. You can even get access to a lake that's nearby. You may not get a piece of land very easily on a lake, because them are all spoken for, and they bring big money now. You can't even buy a piece of land up north on a lake in 2020 for, you're talking so much money that I know I would never be able to afford it. You'd have to be pretty rich. And there you could possibly put a mobile home on some of the land up there. But if you're by a lake, I don't think they even allow a mobile home near a lake. You're gonna have to build a very expensive home. You're talking up there. The lake that I used to go by my aunts and uncle, my great aunt and uncle, that lake is totally, to me, got destroyed by the over a period of time. By people that came up there, and then they bought up the land, and it's just totally destroyed now, because you go back on that one road. It's called the Shangri-La Road, and now that goes all the way through instead of a dead end, and there's homes back there that are well over $2 million a piece, and it's not like it was back when I was a kid. So yeah, the whole United States is getting really populated. There's a lot going on. I hope 2020 is a great year. Hope it gets better. I don't know what it's going to bring. Today is the big day. They start the deal with President Trump, going through the Senate on his impeachment. We'll see how that turns out. I'm not going to make any comments on it, because if I do that, then I got people that are lefts, and I also got the rights. So I'm not going to get involved in talking about that. So guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit that like button with the thumbs up. If you're brand new to the channel, subscribe like always, and leave some comments on this video. I hope this video does okay. I don't expect it to do real well, but hopefully it can get a few more views than what I've been getting, because I don't know, YouTube is just doing a lot of crazy things, and I don't know. I noticed my view count has went way down, you know, so I don't know what's going on there. But I'm just going to keep plucking along and see what happens and go from there. And if it gets too bad, you know, material's hard to get at this time of year to go out and film, you know, so things ain't going to start popping until the end of the month. Hopefully I can get out and shoot some videos. So, again, folks, we'll see you. You have a great 2020. And we'll see you on the next video. All right? All right, goodbye.